Hello, YouTube. My name is Jennifer Radke, and the name of my website is iwishiwereme.com. Today, I want to start into a three-part series about the effects of dieting. And the first one I want to talk about today is about how our culture kind of cultivates an idea that there is an ideal body. And because our culture does that, what we end up doing when we diet is we end up perpetuating that ideal. So today I was thinking about how I'm pretty much inundated constantly with messages about how dieting and working out and just being a certain size and caring about health in a certain way is something that is cultural. So I turned on the radio this morning and there was a song about a woman's body. I turned on the TV and I am seeing diet ads. Or if I'm taking a look at the TV show that I'm watching, I'm noticing that the women on it are all kind of the same size. They may be shorter or taller or more muscular, but they're all the same size. If someone is outside of that size kind of spectrum, then they're the ones who are constantly talking about having to lose weight and talking about poking fun at different parts of their body. They're kind of used as comedic relief. I go to work and my coworkers are talking about the latest challenge that they're doing in terms of food. Or the other day I overheard a conversation about how veganism and vegetarianism does not allow you to get enough protein into your body, and you're going to have to eat so much protein in order to be a vegetarian. And talking about working out and how you have to do a certain amount of cardio and a certain amount of weights, and all of these things are very triggering if you're trying to stop dieting. They really are, because all of this is kind of telling you what you need to do to be healthy. You should want to be in this certain ideal body size, and in order to do that, you should want to do things like eat less carbs, or eat more protein, or work out more, what ends up happening is when you buy into that, and when you say, okay, yes, I define healthy as going to the gym 6 days a week, eating a certain amount of protein, eating a certain amount of carbs, eating a certain amount of calories. When we buy into that, then we begin to perpetuate it. And when we're talking to other people, we will tell them about how healthy we are, because we want people to know how healthy we are. Especially if we are not fitting into that ideal spectrum of body, we want other people to recognize that we are trying. We're trying to get there, I promise. And we're perpetuating this cultural idea of what a perfect or a beautiful body looks like. So dieting ends up actually creating a whole host of other problems culturally. I mean, these are the types of messages that get out that create people with eating disorders or disordered eating, because they are buying into it as well. And when we perpetuate it, so we again talk about things like how we're not eating sugar, or talk about how we've lost a bunch of weight, we are actually saying, we're giving the message to the universe that we buy into what a perfect body should look like. That's one of the things I've kind of learned as I've been doing some reading and getting really involved with the body positive movement, is that I can talk to other people, especially because I've started a new job, and it's easy for me to begin to talk to people, especially because there's so many sort of health conscious people that are in my workplace. I could talk to them about how I've done bodybuilding shows and how I've lost a bunch of weight and what I used to look like. And I could hold that up and say, this is what I used to look like. But by doing that, by saying, this is what I used to look like and asking for that validation, I am essentially buying into the messaging that there is a perfect body out there, that there is an ideal body, and that I was trying to get to that. Now, don't get me wrong, I worked really hard when I was doing that. I worked really hard when I dieted. I worked really hard when I lost a bunch of weight. And I'm not denying myself that feeling of accomplishment from working hard. But I am denying myself the fact that I was buying into a message that I could make my body perfect. And that's what I was trying to achieve. And that's a disordered thought. And I think that going forward, I don't tell people about that background. And on my website, I used to have a picture of myself when I was in that kind of disordered state and doing bodybuilding shows. And I've taken that down. Because if I can't love my before picture exactly the same amount as my after picture, and exactly the same amount as who I am right now, then I am an agent for this culture of ideal body size and shape. And I don't want to be that. So that, I would say, is the first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to the effects of dieting, is that by buying into dieting, we become a walking message board for this idea that there is a perfect body out there. Thank you so much for listening. Again, my website is iwishiwereme.com, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions or just want to chat. Thanks so much. Bye.